Hey, BuzzReelers. Welcome back to another deep dive with us.
Yeah, glad to be here.
This time,
But we're going to be talking.
we're going to be talking about the Bob Dylan biopic.
Oh, yeah.
A complete unknown.
The trailer just dropped.
The new trailer just dropped, and let me tell you,
Big buzz.
it's got everyone buzzing.
Especially.
Especially about Timothée Chalamet's performance as Dylan.
Yeah.
So this isn't your typical by-the-numbers
Yeah, not at all.
biopic.
Right.
So let's unpack what is everyone so excited.
Well, what's really fascinating about this film is how it seems to capture a very specific era in Dylan's life, his early days in New York City.
Right.
And the trailer opens with him arriving, just full of that youthful ambition with Girl from the North Country playing in the background.
Okay, I got chills hearing that.
Such a classic.
Such a classic Dylan tune.
Oh, yeah.
What's the deeper meaning behind that song choice?
It's not just a catchy song.
Yeah.
It's a direct link to his roots. Girl from the North Country is one of Dylan's earliest songs.
Right.
And it really speaks to his folk beginnings, in Minnesota before he burst onto the New York music scene.
So it sets the stage for his journey.
Exactly.
And speaking of journey, the trailer shows glimpses of him connecting with other music legends like Joan Baez.
Oh, yeah. Their relationship was truly pivotal.
Oh, for sure.
Not just for their careers, but really for shaping the entire folk music scene at the time.
Right.
They collaborated, they challenged each other, and their dynamic was sometimes quite fiery.
Yeah.
The film doesn't shy away from that complexity.
We even see a scene where Dylan critiques Baez's music pretty harshly.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you could talk about not mincing words.
It's a powerful scene. It speaks volumes about Dylan's personality.
Right.
He was known for his uncompromising honesty, even if it meant ruffling feathers. It also hints at his constant drive to evolve as an artist, always pushing boundaries, defying expectations.
And Dylan's evolution as a musician went way beyond folk music.
Oh, absolutely.
He didn't just dip his toes into other genres.
Right.
He dove headfirst into rock, country, even gospel.
He was constantly pushing boundaries, never content to stay in one lane for too long.
Right.
That constant reinvention is a big part of what made him such a captivating figure.
For sure.
He kept everyone guessing, never letting himself be easily defined.
It makes you wonder, is that need to reinvent tied to his personal life?
That's a good question.
The trailer seems to hint at a mysterious past and a reluctance to talk about his family.
Yeah, Dylan has always been very guarded about his personal life.
Right.
He's known for crafting a very specific public image.
Uh-huh.
And there are layers of enigma there.
Yeah.
What's really interesting is that he once shared stories about a rebellious childhood that later turned out to be fabricated.
But seriously,
He did.
he made up his own backstory.
Yeah, and it just adds to that, who is the real Bob Dylan question?
Right.
Has followed him throughout his career.
Uh-huh.
Which brings us to Timothée Chalamet and the incredible buzz surrounding his performance.
Yes. From what we've seen in the trailer, Chalamet absolutely transformed. It's not just the look. He captures Dylan's mannerisms, his voice, even his intensity. It's uncanny.
He's not just mimicking.
Yeah.
He's embodying Dylan.
Yes.
There's a particular scene with Sylvie Rousseau,
Okay.
played by Elle Fanning, that has already generated a ton of Oscar buzz for Chalamet.
Really?
The way he portrays Dylan in that scene.
Yeah.
It's electrifying.
December 25th. Can't get here soon enough.
Oh, I know.
I am so ready to see this movie and Chalamet's full performance.
Yeah.
This feels like a role that could really define his career.
It's definitely a bold choice for him taking on such an iconic figure.
Right.
What are your thoughts on Chalamet's potential to pull this off?
Oh.
Do you think he can capture the essence of Bob Dylan?
Yeah, that's a great question for all of you BuzzReelers.
Let us know in the comments.
Let us know what you think in the comments.
Yeah.
What are your expectations for Chalamet's performance?
Yeah. What do you think? I think it's going to be fascinating to watch how he tackles Dylan's evolution, not just as a musician,
Right.
but as a person, navigating the often turbulent waters of the music industry.
Right. Dylan definitely wasn't afraid to shake things up and ruffle a few feathers along the way.
Oh.
He famously went electric at the Newport Folk Festival in 1965.
That moment was a complete turning point, not only for Dylan's career,
Yeah?
but for music history in general. It was shocking.
Right.
Polarizing. Some people loved it. Others felt betrayed. But one thing's for sure.
Yeah.
It sparked a conversation that reverberated through the music world.
It was a bold statement about artistic freedom and defying expectations.
Absolutely.
And the fact that A complete unknown seems to be focusing on this era in Dylan's life has me really excited.
It makes you wonder how the film will handle the backlash from folk purists who felt Dylan abandoned his roots.
Right.
It's a complex issue that goes beyond just music. It taps into the idea of staying true to yourself while also evolving as an artist.
It's about the courage to break the mold.
Yeah.
Even if it means alienating some fans along the way.
Exactly.
That's what makes him such an icon, that uncompromising pursuit of his own artistic vision.
Absolutely. And it's the kind of story that makes for a truly compelling biopic.
Yes.
It's not just about the music, but about the man behind the music, the struggles, the triumphs, the complexities.
Right.
This film has the potential to offer a really nuanced look at who Bob Dylan was.
Yeah.
Not just as a performer, but as a human being.
We're not just looking for a greatest hits compilation here.
Yeah.
We want to see the real Bob Dylan, warts and all.
Warts and all.
What are you most curious to see explored in the film?
I'm particularly interested in seeing how they portray his relationship with the media and his public persona.
Yeah.
You know, he was notoriously private and seemed to cultivate an aura of mystery around himself.
He always kept people guessing.
This is the guy who once said, "I'm not a folk singer. I've never been a folk singer. I've never played a folk singer on television."
Right.
So, I mean, how do you make a film about a guy
I guess
who spent his entire career deflecting labels and dodging expectations?
it's a challenge for sure. Yeah. But that's also what makes it so intriguing.
Exactly.
This film could really spark some fascinating conversations about Dylan's legacy and his place in music history.
Oh, absolutely.
And let's be honest, any conversation about Dylan's legacy has to include his impact on the counterculture movement of the 1960s.
Oh, yeah.
He wasn't just a musician. He was a voice for a generation.
His lyrics had such power.
Yes.
They challenged questioned societal norms.
Right.
And gave a voice to those who felt disenfranchised. It's no coincidence that his music became anthems for the civil rights movement and anti-war protests.
Yeah, his words resonated with so many people during a time of social and political upheaval.
Absolutely.
And it's amazing to think about how his music continues to speak to new generations decades later.
It speaks to the timelessness of his songwriting, you know?
Yeah.
His ability to tap into universal emotions and experiences. It's one of the things that makes him such an enduring figure, you know?
Right.
His music transcends time and continues to inspire.
I think this biopic has the potential to introduce Dylan's music to a whole new audience.
I think so, too.
Especially with Timothée Chalamet in the lead role.
There's no doubt that Chalamet's star power will attract a younger demographic.
Right.
And if this film can capture even a fraction of Dylan's raw talent and rebellious spirit, it's going to leave a lasting impression.
Speaking of Chalamet, the buzz surrounding his transformation into Dylan is pretty mind-blowing.
Oh, he really seems to have disappeared into the role.
I know.
The physical resemblance is striking, but it's more than that.
Right.
He's captured Dylan's essence, you know, the way he moves, the way he speaks, even his gaze.
And he's singing in this film, too.
Oh, that's right.
Have you heard any of his Dylan covers yet?
He's been keeping that pretty under wraps. Oh, really?
Which makes the anticipation even greater.
Right.
I'm so curious to hear how he tackles those iconic vocals.
Me too. I can't wait to hear him belt out classics like Blowin' in the Wind or like a Rolling Stone.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be epic.
And potentially Oscar-worthy.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he's really pushing himself as an artist with this role, and I have a feeling it's going to pay off in a big way.
You know, for an actor known for playing contemporary characters, it's a bold move to take on a figure like Dylan.
It is.
But Chalamet seems up for the challenge.
He does.
It's a chance to re-examine Dylan's legacy through a new lens.
It's a great point. It's not just another biopic.
Right.
It's an opportunity to revisit Dylan's story and see it through fresh eyes.
Right.
And that's exciting.
It is, because Dylan's story is one that deserves to be told and retold.
Absolutely.
And each time we hear it, we learn something new, we gain a new perspective.
His music, his life, his impact on culture.
Yeah.
It's all worth exploring and discussing. And that's exactly what we're here to do with this deep dive into a complete unknown. We want to hear from you guys, too.
Are you excited about this movie?
Yeah.
What aspects of Dylan's life are you most interested in seeing explored on screen?
And what are your thoughts on Chalamet's potential to pull off playing such a legendary figure?
Let's keep this conversation going. Hit us up in the comments and tell us what you think.
We're just scratching the surface here. So much great stuff in the comments. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, keep those thoughts coming.
Seriously.
Love hearing from you.
This whole conversation's got me thinking, like, what is it about Bob Dylan that continues to fascinate us even decades
later
after his prime.
It's that unique blend of raw talent, that rebellious spirit, and that undeniable aura of mystery that surrounds him.
He was never afraid to challenge the status quo, to go against the grain.
Oh, yeah.
Both in his music and in his life.
Right.
He was constantly pushing boundaries and defying expectations.
Absolutely, and yet throughout it all, he maintained this enigmatic persona. He never really let the public fully in.
Right.
Which only adds to the intrigue.
He's like a puzzle that everyone's trying to solve.
Right.
But maybe that's part of his enduring appeal.
Exactly. And maybe that's what makes this biopic so exciting.
Right.
It's a chance to dive deeper into that puzzle to try and understand the man behind the music, the myth, the legend.
And with Timothée Chalamet at the helm, I think we're in for a truly captivating journey.
Oh, he's the perfect choice to embody Dylan's complexity and that magnetic charisma.
For sure.
I have a feeling this movie is going to ignite a whole new wave of Dylan obsession.
I wouldn't be surprised his music has this incredible way of finding new audiences with each generation.
It really does.
It's timeless. And honestly, I think this film has the potential to be timeless as well.
I agree. It's going to be a must-watch for music lovers, film buffs, and anyone who's ever been captivated by the enigma that is Bob Dylan.
Our BuzzReelers, we've covered a lot of ground today.
Yeah, we have.
But before we go,
we want to hear from you.
What are your thoughts on a complete unknown? Are you as excited as we are?
Hit that comment section below and let's keep this conversation going.
Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming deep dives into all things movies and PV.
Until next time, BuzzReelers.
Stay curious.